Hello there, welcome back to Planet Zoo and welcome back to Lunar Zoo. Thank you very much for joining me today. I do hope you're well. So in our last episode we built a large habitat for some moose to go in, and they're very happy walking around, having a swim, having a little munch over in their meter moose area. So yeah, it turned out really nice. Obviously this waterfall was the main feature of the whole thing, and I absolutely love how that turned out. I think it looks really natural and yeah, really good. I'm really pleased with that. And in today's episode we are going to be putting in something over here, and I've already started, so let me show you. So this little corner here is what I'm working on today, and I wanted to link this area here with this area here, and so I thought it's just a small corner, so I've got to do something in here with probably a relatively small animal. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but you can probably have a guess from the theme of what it looks like. So you can see I wanted to do some terraforming. I really want to try and bring more height and height variation really into the zoo, which is not always an easy thing to do, but I thought let's do some terraforming, and also let's just raise the pathway up a bit. So I've made this gently slope upwards, made some interesting curves as well, trying to keep the variation of pathway as well, just rather than lots of straight lines and flat paths, just trying to vary it up a bit. And then it slopes back down here, and then you've got this building here which is using these white Arctic pieces that I've not used for a building before because they don't look particularly real, I guess. They're a bit heavily themed for my likings, but because of the animal that I'm putting in here I decided to go with it because it kind of makes sense. So my idea was this obviously is going to be the bed area, and I wanted it raised up because I wanted it at the same level as this bit of pathway here, so you're really on the same level as the animals. So on the inside obviously I've made a fake floor, again just out of these roof pieces, and just had to sort of play around with them to fill in these little gaps around the edge. And then you've got these archways which are going to be the entrance for the animals to come in and out, and obviously they need to be able to get in and out. So outside will be a rock structure for them to climb up and down. It does back on to the sun bears over here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem because I've made a nice solid base here. I'll probably put some rocks along here, but I'm not sure. But the animals that are going in here are quite small, so they're not really going to be able to interact with what's over there. So I don't think that will be too much of an issue. There's going to be some water, obviously, I think, in this bit here. And so it's going to be quite a simple structure, is my plan. Quite a simple habitat, sorry, not structure. This structure, believe me, this structure is not simple, because trying to put a roof on this without it interacting with this building here, it's not easy, let me tell you. I had a lot of issues because I've already done this. I've already built this whole habitat, so I'm kind of speaking with a bit of hindsight here. That getting it to interact around the edge of this while also using in-game roof pieces was not easy. But I will explain all of that to you as I go along. So can you guess what's going in here? I've already told you that I'm using Arctic pieces on this building, so you can probably guess it's an Arctic something. But you'll have to wait and see, won't you? But let me move on to my next save point and see what I got up to next. Okay, so I wanted to show you the problems that I had putting this roof on. I'm happy with how it turned out, but it caused me a lot of trouble. So the main roof, this sort of L structure, was pretty straightforward. I did have one problem, which was this bit here, which clearly interacted with the roof here. So what I had to do was just put in this sort of fake thing. So this base here that looks metal, this is made of signs, so these are actually just flat pieces that I've made into a box, and then I put some air conditioning units on top just to suggest that this is a big aircon thing, because this bit of roof here did that, you see, and I couldn't hide it. There's no way I could sink it, I couldn't remove it because it was this whole corner piece here. So to cover it up I just had to put a little air conditioning box on there, and I can get away with that. I think that looks okay. The other main problem with this piece over here, and I in the end I just had to put one of these single flat pieces on here because, as you can see, it was an awkward size gap basically, and there's no way I could continue these slopes into this corner. So yeah, so I put a flat piece on there. It's not perfect, but it's as close as I could get to looking looking decent. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And then again, because of the, like, I had to put a separate piece along here to this piece, so you can imagine all the weird angles that it's going at. There's no way of getting all of the top pieces to interact properly, so I just had to put the ridge on the top here, and then just put more wall pieces in to get it to blend together. And I think that looks pretty decent. It looks like it is actually a proper roof structure. Everything's sloping in the right direction, so in the end it turned out really nice. Obviously inside it looks a mess, but that's not a problem. As you can see, there's just sort of bits of roof poking all over the place, but that is why I always, in this sort of building, or usually in this sort of building, I put one of these in, a fake sort of flat roof, because that covers up all of the rubbish that you get at the top here when you've got weird angled pieces sticking all over the place. If you just put in a flat roof like that, it just hides all your sins basically. So that's what I've done. So I put the flat roof in, put some lighting on there as well, and that just covers it all up, and yeah, it looks really nice. Pretty happy with that. Have I coloured that yellow, or does it just look yellow? I'm sure I didn't colour that. No, it's an automatic piece. I don't know why that looks so yellow at the moment. It's just the lighting, I guess. Don't know. Does it look yellow from above? No, see, it looks white there, and then as you come down underneath it looks yellow. I think it's probably just the light and the time of day, but it's meant to be white. Never mind. So there we go. So that was the trouble that I had with the roof. Oh, and I've also just put in the glass wall pieces here for the interaction between the pathway and the habitat. But yeah, so I wanted to show you that and explain how I managed to just about deal with all the problems that I had. I still ended up with one little piece here that I couldn't fill in, but I don't mind that because of course I couldn't go into the building because the building is here. It's it comes in over the top of this this caiman habitat inside. Oh yes, I did actually have to do this as well. I had to lower this roof down a bit just here. Again, because I did have a few pieces that stuck inside. You can see just here in the corner. So yes, I did actually have to just fiddle around with the roof inside, but that's fine. I can get away with that. It's just looks like the roof has got some extra bits built into it there. So it's not perfect, but you know, this game sometimes you just have to come up with creative ideas to hide things. So that's what I've done there. And I think it looks pretty good. Actually, I'm very happy with how that roof looks in the end. I think that building is looking pretty cool. And again, I made life hard for myself because I wanted it to connect to this building. Again, that's sort of the theme of what I'm doing in this zoo, is trying to get things connected together and lots of links and things, not just lots of freestanding stuff. So yeah, I sort of challenged myself to build on the corner there, and it really was a challenge, but I think I've done okay with it in the end. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Right, so let me move on and see what I get up to next. Oh, is that not just the cutest little thing? I know I say that about a lot of the animals in the game, but come on, how could you not love that little thing? So here we are, our foxes are in. Did you guess? Arctic foxes? Yes. It had to be, really, didn't it? Oh, they're just wonderful. So there's a whole pack of Arctic foxes in here. Oh, look, there's one of them stuck down in the water there. That's a bit random. Come on, you need to get out of there. Kimmick? Interesting name. There we go, he's gone swimming. So yeah, there's what, six I think in here now. Just chilling out. Oh, I love it. So what have I been up to? Well, as you can see, I've put in a temporary barrier for the habitat in there. I've also obviously put down snow. So I painted the terrain snow and sunk a load of the cooling things into the ground so that it stays frozen. And I've put a bit of rock work around the water edge here as well. I am going to do a little bit more with that, I think. obviously I put the water in itself, made it nice and deep here, so they've got some deep swimming to do if they want to. But most of the time they tend to stay in this shallow area actually. I don't think they really need deep areas, but I like to provide as much as I can. And then I've just played around with the rock work here and just sunk some of these snow boulders into there just to make it look like there's snow resting around. And then I've covered up this back wall in the same way, just making it look like the rocks are actually covered in snow. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I don't mind it at all. I think once I get maybe a little bit of foliage on there as well, I think that will look better. So I'll continue that rock work along in front of the doorways here, and obviously create a slope so that the animals can come up into their bed. Obviously, I have put some bedding in the bed, but they can't get up there at the moment because they can't jump that far, of course. But I will get onto that in a minute. Still can't actually remember if I get round to putting rock work along the back here or not. I'll have to wait and see. There's a bit of ground there that I've not frosted properly, so I'm pretty sure I'd sort that out. And then there's going to be something to do with this temporary barrier. It's likely, I think, to be rock work. You have to bear with me. It's been a little while since I actually did this habitat, so I can't quite remember how it ends up looking, but I'm pretty sure I do rock work to create an edge here and then like a custom fence on top as well. But look at them all, they're all asleep. Was there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, and they're all asleep, all separate from each other. That is quite adorable. Oh, you just want to stroke them, don't you? They're so cuddly. Absolutely lovely little creatures. I do love these things, they're great. But I'm sure they're keen to actually get up into their bedroom. So yeah, poor little things. I feel like I'm mistreating them at the moment because they can't get into a proper bed area. So I will have to get on with that. So let me crack on. Let me load up my next save game and see what I do next. And at last our animals can get into their bed. And I kind of realised that I've made their bed way too big for them. As you can see, they are tiny little things and they have a huge bedroom area here. But that's fine. I don't mind that. It's better to have too much room than not enough. At least here they can all separate out and, you know, they can go where they want, do what they want. They all seem pretty happy. Oh, look at him, he's tired. Oh, he's so cute. I could watch these things for hours, I'm really good. So what have I done outside? You can see I've just built a basic rock structure here. So they have got a proper slope that they can go down here, but I think actually they can climb up over this end as well. Yeah, as you can see that one there, yeah. So you can see they can come on at both sides here at the moment. They can climb on the rocks a little bit at the back there as well, and they can apparently escape their habitat, but that's just because I haven't brought the barrier back enough. The barrier at the moment is just inside the wall, so it thinks they can escape when clearly they can't. Oh look, I randomly managed to click on the same one again. It's Gimmick. Always seems to be him that I click on. Who else have we got? Nulia Juck. Blimey, it's weird names. Alassi. Oh, that's Kimmick again. Kumaglak. Blimey, they are bizarre names, aren't they? Tapisa. Coupon. And Kissimmee. Well, a lot of fun creating the names for this game. I wonder if it's just randomly generated combinations of letters. I don't know. Or did someone actually have to come up with all these names? You probably find these are all proper, you know, I don't know, names from different cultures around the world, maybe. Don't know. Tapisa. I like that one. Tapisa. Here we go. So there's another one climbing up the rocks here to get up into the bed. I like that they can get up this way, actually. It adds a bit more realism, doesn't it? Little animals like this would be able to climb pretty well. They wouldn't necessarily need to go up a nice gentle slope, but the slope is there for them if they want it. So there we go. Great. Nice. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. That looks pretty cool so far. Right, let me crack on then and let's see what I get up to next. Right, so I've got a fair bit done now actually. So let me start with the pathway. I did do what I said. I put rocks around here where it raises up. I thought that was a nice simple thing to do. But what I decided in the end was to go with the in-game fencing on this pathway because it looked really good actually. It's a lovely fence, this one. I thought obviously the Arctic theme, I thought this flooring looked pretty Arctic-ish, and then when I tested out the in-game barrier on it, I really like this. I think this looks, you know, wood and a bit of metal looks suitably Arctic-ish, if that's a word. So I went with that, and I think that looks really cool, and I've used that along the entire length of this pathway. So yeah, no need for a custom fence because that would have been really awkward to do, going up slopes and around tight corners like this. It would have been very time consuming. So sometimes you just got to go with the in-game stuff if it works, if it looks good. And in this case I think it does. I think it looks absolutely great, so don't mind that at all. And inside the habitat I put some more of the stone boulders, what an idiot, the snow boulders around here as well, just to continue that same method. I decided not to put rock work along the back, but I have put a nice pile of rocks in the middle here as well. This area was a bit empty, so I wanted a bit more sort of stuff for them to interact with there. Obviously sunk some of these nice little piles of rocks in around as well, just to make it look like the rocks are crumbling kind of thing. I've done one of my classic fallen logs over the water because you can't have too many fallen logs, can you? Let's be honest. And I just love them. I love it, the way it interacts with the water as well. Just really looks natural. I actually put a stump at this end so it looks like it's been chopped down and purposely left lying across the water. Even though the animals can't use it, it looks like they possibly might do a bit of climbing on it. And then around the edge of the water I did just put a few more of these large snow boulders in where the ground was particularly steep. And then in this corner here I've just used some other normal rocks around the bottom here, and just sort of create a little shallow beach area where the foxes can climb in and out of the water using all these, again, these small pieces of rock. The aquatic faux rocks, just get them coloured right and they blend in and looks really nice. And a few trees. They're all dead basically. This was the theme I was going for here, was that all of the trees in this habitat, they're all just dead. Yeah, I don't know, I didn't want this habitat to look alive basically, because it's meant to be in the Arctic where things like trees would really struggle. So I've just decided to go with dead stumps of trees, because I didn't want it to be empty. I wanted it to look like something had grown here at some point, but that now they're just big and dead and just left there for the aesthetics. So yeah, that's what I went with. And then the entrance, I've just put a couple of boulders on each side and made this concrete, just keeping that sort of dead, bland, grey theme, you know. The animals can't get up here, although it looks like they can. I think I do something here to block this off in a minute, because it does certainly look like the animals, without a doubt, in real life the animals would just run straight up there and escape. So I'm pretty sure I do something with that in a minute. We'll have to come back to that. What else have I done? Oh yes, I needed the water to be cooled, because I realised that you have to separately cool down the water when you've got animals like this. So I've put in one of the water processing things over here, so that'll all get covered in with this building eventually. And also inside, to keep the air temperature cool in here, I have put coolers on the walls in here as well. So there's quite a few of those scattered around the walls, so that it's nice and cold for them in here, because that's what they like. They like, what sort of temperature do they like? Can never quite remember where to find that information. Or do you have to go on to, I think you have to go onto the Zoopedia, do you? And then it tells you. Yeah, there we go. So I'm assuming that means -50 to -28, although it might be -50 to +28. I don't know if that dash in the middle is to do with the 28 or if it's just a dash between the two things. Not too sure. Actually, let me check. It's like an elephant. Yeah, see, the dash is there for that. So the dash you can ignore. So that is 16 to 44. So in this case, it's -50 to 28. So they're pretty happy in quite a wide range of temperatures there, so that's good. So yeah, but I wanted to cool it down, and it just looks cool as well. I love these cooling things. They just look great. You could use these for all sorts of different things. They can look like sort of air filtration. They can look like heaters. They can look like coolers. You could even just sink them in and just have the smoke effect if you wanted. So yeah, they're cool little pieces actually, even if they're not really functioning as whatever it is you want them to function as. So there we go. So there is just a little bit more, I think, one more segment to talk about, just filling in sort of the gap over here, and I think around the back of the pathway as well. And like I said, I think I do something over here as well. So I'm not sure if I do this building over here or not. I don't think I touched that yet. I'm going to wait until I do more building around here before I do that. But it's coming along nicely, isn't it? Our animals certainly seem quite happy. There's no enrichment in yet either, so that is something that I think I must do next. But let me load up my next save game and talk you through it. Okay, here we go. We are all done. So let's start in this corner over here by the reptile house. I filled this corner in with some trees. I wanted to have a bit of greenery here. Obviously this isn't really part of the habitat, it's just a random corner, so I thought I would get some proper trees in. And a whole load of flowers. I really like this. It's like a big meadow of flowers here with a few different ones poking out as well. A bit of ivy growing up the back of the wall there as well, just because I don't like big blank walls. So yeah, pretty simple. I didn't do these buildings, like I said. That's fine. They will get done at a later date at some point. The rock work around the back is exactly the same as I'd done before, just continuing all of that around there. I'm not sure why that piece is there. Oh yes, that shouldn't be there. I am meant to get rid of that. Because originally I was going to try and do some archways. And I did some archways and it just didn't look right at all, so I got rid of them. But I had that in as sort of the foundation of the archway, and I've forgotten to remove it, so I'll have to come back and get rid of that. I did put some benches in along the back, and I've used these little picnic shelters as shelters for the benches. I thought they looked pretty cool, and again they kind of look not necessarily Arctic-y, but the wooden theme, you know, I think Arctic and wood goes pretty nicely together. So yeah, so they're dotted all the way along here, so you've got lots of little sheltered benches that you can sit on and eat your lunch and watch the foxes. On the side of the building here there's a couple of small information media screens, so you can read about the foxes. There's a little bit of enrichment inside here. You've got a cardboard box for them to play with. I think that's the only bit of enrichment inside. Yes, it is by the looks of it. In here, what else have I got in here? Oh yes, I put another one of these media screens on here. I've done this many times before. Use these large pieces of rock, and they make perfect sort of screen backdrops. So you've got another screen there with a bit of information. You have a food bit of enrichment in here. Some toys, toys. You can never have too many toys. Or tennis ball over here. Look, he's actually playing with the tennis ball. That's nice to see. Cardboard box over here. You've got a sprinkler here. You've got, what is this one? A blood scent marker. It's lovely, isn't it? And at the moment they're getting fed up on the top there. And it looks stinky. What are they eating today? Ribs and goo and chunks of something. Looks very appetizing, doesn't it? Oh look, there's one climbing up on the rock at the back there. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I didn't realise they could get up there. Oh yeah, look at that. They can climb up on the rocks quite nicely there. That looks cool. I like that. Good bit of interaction with the scenery. That's what we like to see. And what else have I done? Oh yes, I did also just do this. Like I said, I thought I'd put something here. Just a little bit of wooden fencing there, just to secure that corner, just to make sure the animals can't get out and people shouldn't be climbing in over that either. And there we go. That is our Arctic fox habitat all done. So not the most complicated thing I've ever had to build. It's a relatively straightforward habitat. Obviously this building provided a few issues, but I think I just about managed to overcome them. But it's filled in this corner quite nicely, and I'm very pleased with the shape and the height variation that I managed to get in with this pathway. I don't know what I'll be doing behind it here, but obviously this pathway does provide a nice sort of downwards viewing area. So there'll be something in here that's down that can be viewed. I might even be sinking the land down even more and have it like some sort of a pit or something. I don't know. I haven't done that yet, so I can't tell you. But I will come up with something creative to put into this space here. But these foxes are pretty happy in here by the looks of it. I think they're all sleeping at the moment. I can't see them. Yeah, look at them all in here. All having a little snooze. Lovely little things, they really are. What does it look at night? Let's have a look, shall we? Subdued, that's how it looks at night. Yeah, so you've got some basic white lights in here. I think I actually made the lights white as well, not just clear, but I think I purposely made them white. And it lights up the inside there pretty nicely, doesn't it? Nothing really on the outside. Oh, look, you've got the little disco ball is doing well over here, providing a bit of light. Yeah, there we go. So that is our Arctic foxes. Another new animal for me. I've not done Arctic foxes in any of my other zoos, so again it was something new and fun, something a bit different, and I'm pretty pleased with how it all turned out actually. It's tricky with a habitat like this because it's a very barren environment, so there's not really that much to do other than rocks and terraforming, so you have to be creative with the terraforming, and I think I've done a good job here actually. There's quite a good variation of height within this habitat. There's little slopes and hills and rocks and things that they can climb on. It can be quite tricky to you know, for every habitat not to just look like a big flat bit of land. You have to create your own terrain, and it's not always the easiest thing to do, especially in a small space, but I think I've done a pretty good job here. Oh look, it's lunchtime. Here they all come get some food. Yum 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 yum. Ooh, that looks like a big liver. Is that a liver maybe, or a kidney? No, it's too big for a kidney. Probably a liver or a lung maybe. I don't know. Big old chunks of meat and some ribs. These look like sort of, I don't know. Oh, maybe that's our moose ribs. Maybe we're killing our moose to feed our Arctic foxes. That wouldn't be good, would it? They're big, whatever they are. These are massive ribs. You know, these Arctic foxes are small, but they're not tiny. These are some big ribs. Anyway, they're enjoying it. I should get a screenshot because I think that is going to be a pretty cool thing to see. So let's pause the game. Sorry, my camera work is really dodgy sometimes. Hang on, I need one of them to look up. Raise your head. There we go. Let's see if I can get a screenshot in here somehow. Well, yeah, looks good. If I manage to get a decent screenshot, this will be the screenshot that you see on the thumbnail. Here we go. Let's try that. There we go. Nice. Cool, so there we go. So that's our Arctic foxes. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Thanks very much for spending a little bit of your spare time with me. And hopefully I've inspired you to go and build an Arctic fox habitat of your own. You never know. Please do let me know down in the comments if you liked what I've done, or indeed if you didn't. I'm always open to a bit of criticism if you don't like what you see. But for now, that's it. Can I give you a spoiler for the next episode? I wish I could. I can't remember what I do next. I've done a few more habitats already in this zoo. I'm getting quite ahead of my recordings at the moment, so I can't even remember what else I've done. I think there's something in here, but other than that, I can't help you. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to wait and see. But I think the next habitat is in this area over here, but I cannot for the life of me remember what the animal is. I'm afraid. Honestly, I have a busy life. I have lots going on. I don't remember everything I do every second of the day, I'm afraid. So yeah, you'll have to wait and see. But I'm sure it'll be fun to watch. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully I will see you again very soon. Until then, do take care of yourselves. Bye for now.